Okay, I just got here and the streets already smell like dust, sweat and smoke. This wall is warm, but my hand is already covered in this fine yellow dust. Homes here are packed close together, and every entrance has some kind of curtain. She just came back from the market, and the first thing is washing her feet. No shoes inside, of course. That is why foot washing is not optional here. I can see little bits of dirt floating in that water, and it has been used more than once. Even just sitting down here for a moment leaves a layer of dust all over you. That shiny layer is olive oil. They add it to the water for washing. This basin is heavy, hand-shaped, and it holds water surprisingly well for something so rough. Wastewater goes right onto the ground, and it evaporates fast under this sun. This stall is full of jars, and each one has a different oil or herb. Whoa! This oil is so strong that it actually stings my nose a little bit. Olive oil is everywhere here, not just for food, but for skin and hair. I recognize hyssop. They use it for cleaning and not just for the body. This little bottle costs more than a full meal, and it is not even perfume. Women gather at the spring every morning, and the water is moving and clear. The water is freezing, but it feels cleaner than anything I have touched today. All right, that really woke me up. This is their own version of a morning splash, I guess. She is using a stone to scrub cloth, and it is loud and rough. They wash their hair right here, fully clothed, with a jug of cold water. That paste is for dry skin, and it smells like mint mixed with dirt. I wanted to try it, but this texture is a lot chunkier than modern lotion. Alabaster jars keep oil cool, and this one still feels almost cold to the touch. This resin melts into oil and becomes a perfume that lasts for days on end. After walking half a day, my skin feels like the road. I get why they oil it. She brought me in here to show me something that women use every month. These are the cloths, soft linen, cut into squares and folded many times over. This weave is tight, and the edges are hemmed so they do not fray. Soiled cloths soak in water first, and then they get scrubbed at the spring. They mix ash into the water to help break down stains. It works like a soap. This cellar stores jars, and down here the temperature really drops quite a bit. Hear that hollow sound? This jar is nearly empty, but it stays surprisingly cool. This stopper is tight, and sealed jars keep cloths from rotting in the heat. Those little stamped marks show exactly whose house or workshop these jars belong to. Coming back up feels like stepping into an oven. My eyes hurt a little. Rooftops are where women come to sit, sew, and talk without being overheard by anyone. She is folding strips, and each one is wide enough to wrap around a hand. These strips are worn close against the body, held by a belt or tied cloth. From up here, I can see the whole street, but nobody can see this corner. This one is old and soft, which she says is better for the skin. Back in the workroom, and now the women are sewing cloths, not just soaking them. That needle is bronze, and the thread is flax. No plastic, no metal clips. This needle looks like a tiny bone sliver, and it is sharper than I expected. These wool scraps are for extra padding, and they are surprisingly soft for rough wool. Everything here is handmade, reused, and washed by hand, so nothing at all goes to waste. That dark paste is kohol, and women use it around their eyes for protection and style.
Hello there.
It is not a pencil. They use a tiny stick to draw it on. I am not putting this near my eye. One wrong move and I look like a raccoon. She does it without a mirror shaking at all, and the line is perfectly straight. That mirror is made of polished bronze, and it gives a blurry but still usable reflection. This courtyard has a basin in the middle, and the stone is cool underfoot. Look at this steam, it feels ancient. That red powder is ochre, and she mixes it with oil for a cheek color.
Yeah.
This powder is so fine, it sticks to my fingers like dust and oil. Henna stains the skin orange-red, and it lasts for weeks on hands and feet. Even the basin water here is scented with a few drops of myrrh oil. Now this is different. A pot of chalk, and it is used for more than walls. It feels like very fine sand, and it dries out my skin almost instantly. This chalk gets mixed with water and used to scrub pots and sometimes skin. That dark red paste is made from crushed insects and used as a lip stain. Crushed insects on my lips? No thanks, I think I will skip this one today. This garden is full of herbs, and almost every one has a medical use. Hyssop is strong, and they boil it to treat wounds and also for cleansing. You crush these leaves, mix them with water, and use the liquid to wash. That feathery one is wormwood, and it smells so bitter I can taste it in the air. Women grow these herbs right outside the house, and they know every leaf by name. This clay oven is extremely hot, and the air around it shimmers with intense heat. That jar has a mixture of oil, wine, and herbs for cleaning the skin. The mixture is warm, and it smells like wine that has gone sour and strong. This warm cloth is actually soothing, and the oil keeps it from drying the skin. An oven is not just for bread. It warms water, oils, and even cloths. She is digging up a root that she says helps with her monthly cramps. It looks like a skinny carrot, but it smells spicy and a little bitter. She says they grind this root and mix it with warm water to drink. The smell is so strong it clears my nose, but she swears it works. Every plant here has a purpose, and the women know them better than anyone. These steps lead to a ritual bath, and the air drops 10 degrees down here. The rock is cold and wet, and every little sound echoes off the walls. This water is collected rainwater that gets channeled from the roof down into this pool. The water is so still I can see my reflection, even in this dim light. That channel brings rainwater from outside, and the bath must be filled naturally by that rainwater. Coming out of that cold cavern into the sun feels like stepping into a wall of heat. The entrance is so low I had to bend, and the steps are worn smooth. I feel like I just climbed out of a cave, which I basically did. Women come here to seek ritual purity, especially after the end of their monthly cycle. She will fully immerse herself, and the water must rise to cover her completely from head to toe. Down here, the only light comes from the doorway, and it makes the water look black. She does not wear anything at all into the water, which surprised me at first. This lamp is the only light, and it makes the whole cavern feel ancient. I will not film her immersion in the water, because that would be completely wrong and disrespectful. That bath is not about being dirty. It is about being ready for something sacred. Now she is showing me something called lye water, made from ashes and rain. This mixture is slippery, and it can actually burn if it stays on the skin. They use this for cleaning cloths, but only with very careful and deliberate handling. Straining out the ash makes the water clear, but it still feels harsh to the touch. My hands are so dirty right now that even the water here leaves gray streaks behind. At certain times of the month, women stay on the rooftop or in a separate room. This little corner is a private space, and it has its own water jug. It is isolation, but not like a punishment. It is more like a quiet retreat. From up here, the city sounds fade, and it is strangely peaceful, like the world below is holding its breath. Even in this private space, there is chalk for purity and water for washing. Back inside, and the kitchen is full of steam and the smell of boiling herbs. That is a wash for inflammation, and it is made from chamomile and warm water. It smells like earth and sweet hay, and the steam feels good on my face. A little oil makes the water softer, so it does not strip the skin. Every jar has a different herb, and they all look the same, but smell different. I keep thinking about that cold pool. It feels like the most serious kind of washing. The air coming out is clean and cold, like the inside of a cave. This lamp is all I would have down there, and that is both calming and terrifying. That dripping never stops. It is slowly filling the pool, even now, drop by drop. I can barely see my own face, and that feels right for this place. This is the most shocking part. That stream comes from a pure spring, and it is freezing. My hand goes numb after a few seconds, and I can feel every grain of sand. This brush is just twigs tied together, and it scratches but gets everything off. She has been scrubbing that cloth for 10 minutes now, and it is still stained. After a full day of heat, this cold water is almost painful, but somehow refreshing. The whole city smells like wood smoke now, and it makes me feel like I live here. Today I saw hygiene through the eyes of women 2,000 years ago, and nothing was easy. That little flame is their light, their warmth, and sometimes their only comfort at night. I thought I knew what it meant to stay clean, but today changed that completely. If you had to use cold water and ashes every day, would you still feel clean? Tell me.